So I was just editing what was supposed to be this week's episode, and the video was corrupt. There was something wrong with it, the sound got all messed up, and I just was like... But I did commit to myself that I wanted to upload a episode once a week of the podcast, just because it's just good for me to keep kind of moving things on. So I'm just gonna do a one take, one shot, no titles, no music, upload it, be done with it, and not frustrate myself further this week trying to work on it. So let's just make this a nice quick one and do it, and I'll feel good for having continued this habit that I've been trying to work on. So I'm going to talk about my finished objects first. So my big finished object for this week is the Agnes top. This was the pattern test that I was doing for Divine Debris. I ended up doing the 2X size, which is a little bit big on me, but I think we're going to use this as a cover-up for when we go to the beach this summer. Really beautiful colors. This yarn is really nice too. It's Cotton Fair by Premier Yarns, and it's this nice like cotton acrylic blend. I picked like this salmon color, white, and then gray to go together. It really kind of makes the color pop. Yeah, it's a beautiful top. It's a nice boxy kind of crocheted top, but yeah, like I said, it's, you can kind of see, I'm wearing a dress, so it's hard to tell, but it's pretty long on me and pretty big on me, but it'll be great for a summertime cover-up. So that's my big finished object. I've been working on that for about 2 weeks, finished it on Friday a little bit early, and then sent in my feedback on Saturday. So then my other thing is I actually got back to my queue now. I stopped kind of interjecting new things into my queue. So I finished my lambing mitts. I'm really excited about these. I really love this yarn. I got it on the local yarn store day when I went to actually buy my sweater quantity of yarn for my weekender that I'm going to start eventually. But yeah, super gorgeous. I love them. It's kind of hard to show the color on this video because it's so bright with the natural light, but they're just like these beautiful dark marled colors, and yeah, I adore them. I think I might do this pattern again a couple times because I know that my wife's gonna want to wear them during the winter, and I'm gonna want to wear them all the time. I really like this. It's the perfect length so that like my wrists don't end up getting cold when I'm wearing my jacket, and they roll up so that you can keep your fingers warm, or if you want kind of the more fingerless look, you can roll it down and it looks nice. I prefer these instead of gloves, first of all because I'm lazy and I don't really like having to go through and knit all the fingers. I've tried multiple times and I never made it all the way through because I just don't have that kind of attention. But yeah, so that's another, I've been really looking forward to knitting these, and I finally finished them, and yeah, they're gonna go in the bin for winter stuff because obviously it's spring here, so it's too warm to wear them right now. So then those are my only two finished objects for the week because the Agnes top took up a considerable amount of time. But I do have a semi-finished object. So this is the Peaks hat. So this was just kind of a whim that I decided to make this. I had this braid of the Karen Pantone yarn. I think it's called Purple Pops, I believe. And someone had designed, do I have the name of the person? I'll put the link down in the description, but they had designed this hat to kind of go with the Karen Pantone. These are only 127 yards, so it is a little bit hard to find patterns that'll only use one of the braids of colors, because these are mini skeins of each color. But yeah, so I need to sew in my ends, and I just got pom-poms. I need to decide which one I'm going to put on top, but I've been wanting some of these like faux fur pom-poms. I'm thinking white. I think white goes really well with the whole thing, so that's probably gonna happen. Or there's this color, that I also kind of like with it. But yeah, I ordered these, they just came in, so I think I'm going to probably finish this one up tonight. I really love this stuff. It's soft. I think it's a nylon, acrylic, and merino wool combo, and these colors are just gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to wearing this winter. It'll be really nice. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm still working on the blackberry kerchief, which I think is still in my work bag. I haven't really gotten that far on it. I did get my Darn Good yarn box this month. I'm a little... I think I've talked about this before. I don't think I'm going to continue this after this year. I got it as a gift for Christmas because I wanted something that was like going to send me yarn of the month. And it's very inexpensive, so for what it's worth, especially if you're like a new knitter or crocheter, it might be worth it just to try out some different kinds of yarn. All of the yarn is like a silk or a silk blend. It's all recycled silk. But the problem that I have as someone who's a little bit pickier about their fibers is, first of all, the colors. I'm not always necessarily a big fan of the colors. This one has really beautiful pinks, oranges, yellows, but then it has like this brown mixed in, and I'm not a big fan of it. It's kind of like a yellow toned brown, which it's just not my favorite thing to knit with. And it's always these like bulkier yarns. This says that it's, I think, a number 4, but it seems like it might be a little bit bulkier to me, and it's not very much, so it's really hard to find patterns to utilize these in that like I actually want. So like I've done a couple cozies, I've done a headband, I had a little mini scarf with the first one, the blackberry kerchief, that was the only, I think, yarn that I got that was lace weight or thinner. I can't remember if it's lace or fingering weight, but it's a thinner yarn. This is once again a bulky one, so it's just a little disappointing when you keep getting these really thick yarns that you can't really do much with. And then I think the extra little gift with it was hand balm, like knitting hand balm, which I'll probably use, but my hands don't get that dry when I'm knitting, so I'll figure it out. And then yesterday I needed to come up with another project to work on because obviously I'm done with a lot of other stuff. So I started the very, very beginnings of Rose City Rollers. So it's a sock, top down, just kind of like a rolled cuff. You can kind of see. I like I said, I just barely started, so you can't see much of it. The yarn, it is Patton's Croy Socks, I believe. I've had this yarn for an eternity because I had so many intentions of knitting socks a long time ago, and it just never happened. But now I'm doing it more, and yeah, so this will be nice. I had actually knit a little pouch, like I think it was supposed to be a dice bag with this, and I never sewed it up. Depending on if I have enough yarn to finish the socks, I might end up cannibalizing that to finish the socks, because once again, it's just like a flat rectangle that I never did anything with. So yeah, so those are all my projects right now. Really glad to have finished that. Gonna finish this tonight, so I'll show it in all its glory next week. Next week it'll be a better podcast just because I'll actually spend the time on taking videos. I got a fish this weekend, and I really want to share the tank setup with you because it's really cool. It's an aquaponic tank, and I'm growing some edible stuff in the top. So that's actually starting to grow. It's sprouting pretty well right now, so that'll be cool to be able to show you what that looks like. And I guess eventually, whenever I'm allowed to take my plants outside again, I'll be able to like give you a nice little garden tour, which I would really like to film. But right now, all of my plants are mostly still inside. I did take some of them back outside temporarily just because I talked to the people that are in charge of maintenance here, and they told me that they don't actually know when they're going to do the painting. So I was like, you know what? Then I'm just gonna take my plants outside and deal with bringing them back in when you decide to actually get that done. So what can I say? It's not in my control, so yeah. So I guess that's all for this week. Sorry for the brief and messy episode, but I promise that next week's will be better. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye, guys.